It's only 2. I think it's 3:30. It seems so dark. Yeah. It is diabolical, man. This is diabolical amount of hostility. You ever talked to someone like that before? I've never been like that before. Did you not just hear me? Yeah, do you know why I'm getting upset? Because you're not listening to what I'm saying. Understand? I don't understand. Everyone wants a big, strong father to take care of their enemies for them. In modern society, you don't want to go hand-to-hand combat with anyone. You don't even want to verbally spar with people in public. But you still need to take care of criminal-type personalities. How do you do it? You do it through ceremonial witchcraft. That's to me, it's not the law, it's not the police. You have to deal with the police. Anytime the police are around, you have to deal with them too. They just multiply your problems, right? Because they're stupid as fuck, and it works for them, right? A, stupid as fuck, and B, it works for them. A, stupid as fuck, B, it works for them, right? Right? There's no point in trying to avoid it. They're some of the stupidest, ugliest, cruelest cunts that ever walked the earth, right? They're the only people who want to be the police. They're useless, right? They're an impotent cult, right? Their uniforms are like what they consider the law to be. They're meant to be stretched. And the more they stretch, the more they have to stretch, and the more they get what they want, and the more they'll never get what they want. You ever met a police officer who's satisfied with their lives at all? No, they're always psychos. And these psychos, they walk and they drive and they live among us. Every town in the world. They're bred for it by their psychopathic families. And then just think about all the other industries that psychos get into. One's dominated by men, one's dominated by women. Male energy is the best energy I see on here. Right? It's ridiculous. You're projecting, sir. In women, I've seen the lowest behavior. Even since I was 2 or 3 years old, daycare system, elementary school, they always seem to commit the lowest types of behavior, the least control over themselves. And yet they're given the most free pass and succeed in the initiation of force and aggression with other people whom they have trapped or indisposed or at some advantage in any scenario. No one's ever safe around women. It's crazy. We live in this world where it's supposed to be so bad. You're not safe around women. Today, every female I met is a cause of some concern. As soon as a woman takes an interest in me, it's never really a good thing. Men, they don't take too much of an interest. You know, women get interested, they get curious, they get involved. Women don't have enough to do, enough to think about what they do every day, right? They're less likely to be really intellectual creatures, more likely to declare themselves sapiophiles, people who admire or love people who are intellectual, as a pretext to fuck them, to get dick, right? I've met plenty of women who think they're intellectuals, and they're mindless. They have no ideas, no original ideas about anything, ever. They'll just listen to you so they can fuck you. There's nothing going on there, right? It's like they don't even know what the intellect is for, right? I've had grandpa and grandpas who invented things, who made things, who constructed things, and women who just do the same thing their entire lives. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve their own recognition for the extraordinary lengths to which they go to endure men, to endure the fucked up world. Just absolutely harrowing and agonizing. But to acknowledge that this incredible advantage that men have in their intellect. People on Jeopardy, like I said, I believe that they've been falsely or synthetically intellectually enhanced to perform stupid intellectual human tricks, right? Game shows, stupid human tricks. None of these things are any true test. They've got you thinking that baseball is the true test of a man, or football, or rugby, or soccer, or hockey, or skydiving is a test of your manhood. It isn't. It's amazing, right? For instance, white people who do pranks on their birthday because they're psychotic. You can, like pranks. White people do pranks all the time, which is demonic. It's parasitical. It always places people in danger. Let's see. So what's the point of that, do you think? Something could be wrong. Ask yourself when you do a prank or you see pranks, have been harmed. Is there any sense of harm to someone's trust, security, right? Anyway, you can see this white woman letting her boyfriend be pranked and potentially harmed seriously on his birthday. It's like, you see, I push his girlfriend off a cliff during a bungee jump. And she's like, you're not my boyfriend anymore. It's like what they do. They push each other. They let each other take unnecessary risks. It's incredible. Pranking is demonic. So, yeah, the region is quite sickening. But, it's neat that I did that pentagram for protection. And that Teresa, that dog just very subdued. That dog usually barks at me. I didn't make too much eye contact. The dog didn't bark today. It's like, but what to do, right? A lot of evil people on the path. Women. Large streams of them. And then there's Ken, you know him, so he's a good guy. Jay, he'll probably go for a walk soon, or a hike, whatever. And, see how that goes. Should be relaxing if it does happen. And I haven't tried him in a long time, so he could be in a bit better shape, but he seems like me, so he seems fairly adept. So adept enough, and that's all that matters. I don't mind if someone's got a few extra pounds. It happens. And you can be carried well, it can be useful in staving off depression in some cases. But it's got a good mind. Dog's healthy, so it's cool. person. Let's see. What's up, buddy? Head down. Hey, buddy. Yeah, can't complain about the weather. Yeah. It's gonna be good, I think.
You've been all day without rain?
Yes,
Good.
thankfully. Yes. It's been good, and the river's going up and down doing its thing, but we'll see how the week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I don't want to stop you guys too long, but it's always nice to see you.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh,
look at
for
him.
God's sake.
Oh, he's feeling comfy, isn't he? Hey? Whoa!
He's been waiting all afternoon.
Yeah.
We've had some, a guy helping us, or doing some stuff on the roof and stuff like that, so we've been, right by it.
He knows me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, so we just
Getting the roof
got
all
out
sound.
and then,
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, you wait till the right time to do that. I guess it's usually a little bit
well,
costly.
he's doing, I don't know what the heck
I'll
he's
walk
doing.
for a moment with you
It's
just to keep that momentum, and then I'll hit on just to give that momentum to yeah, so the roof's all coming together hopefully. Yeah. But you have to be around, I guess, when they're there.
Well, yeah, my husband's there. So
Okay,
I mean,
good.
it's-
Okay.
But I gotta get him going and I gotta get
Woo! Nice. Is that what you do in those big room kind of things?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Where do you?
Well, where I'm playing tonight is the bigger side.
Oh, neat. It's been a while since they're interesting to watch sometimes. In Abbotsford, they had one at the Fraser Valley Racket Club, and my mom and dad used to play, and I never had to desire too much because but it looks like a very interesting, challenging, exciting thing to do. So that's lovely. Yeah, good for you. Jeez, I wouldn't have the agility, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, yes, you
I don't know.
It's all
It's all
kinds
about all kinds of stuff, eh?
it's all kinds of different levels.
Yeah.
People, you know, like where I play, with people just, you know, learning how to
Good.
grade up into PA players.
Oh yeah. And there's tournaments and stuff. You guys have tournaments and stuff too?
Well, we do.
Yeah.
You know, COVID thing going
Yeah.
on, we've had a lot of
Less going
a
on
lot
there.
less, yeah. Yeah. They decided to cut out some of the tournaments that we used to have and that. You know, I just
Yeah.
think COVID is for whatever reason.
No.
We'll probably forget.
Well, a flu is a flu is a flu. I'll say not to minimize all the, but in that we've had in easy at this part of the world, we can be a bit philosophical. And I know that there's medical distinctions, but the flu is the flu is the flu. And humans, to me, they get sicknesses more to do with poisoning and stress than because the wrong person breathes on you.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And I think a lot of it's the preconditions, and it's awful, absolutely awful if someone has pre-existing, absolutely. Like if someone told me the flu was over there, I'd walk the other way.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's around, I am all into being careful about it. If there's you know, for whatever reason, I'm not sure if we even fully understand how these things work, that if we can tell that people are prone to getting sick. It's important to take precautions. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting used to being closer to human beings. And, you know, the mask just, you sort of get into that mode. You know, on the trail, I still move to one side when people come along. And, you know, all healthy people that don't necessarily need, but yeah, sure. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I guess it'll be a part of our zeitgeist for a while or whatnot. Yeah, gee whiz, man. 100 years after the other flu, I guess, 1918. It's like a centennial. You know, well, gives people something to do, stay alive. But, yeah, you know, people with pre-existing respiratory things, apparently. I mean,
Yeah.
crikes, I think the last place I'd want to be is in a hospital.
Yeah.
That's the thing, too. Like, I said to my mom, I said, you know, kind of like, I was a few times I thought I was getting ill, and you kind of think, should I go to the hospital place? Like, the hospital's the last place you want to go, especially in Nanaimo. Sometimes, I bet you a lot of people have become more medically independent.
Yeah.
We've become more independent. But there was a dog groomer we have that said that she spent Christmas on Zoom, you know,
Oh, is
instead
that
of going to Vancouver. So a
Yeah.
lot of, did you notice prices going up a little bit at the supermarket?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too happy with that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the intel on that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I've always been frugal, so yeah. Well, buddy, have a good one. It's so good to see you guys, eh? Nice to walk with you for a bit. We'll do it again soon. Take care, pal. Take care, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for your squash. Yeah. Take care. That's one of the females that I know. Literally, like, wow. Holy cow, they actually exist. Just went for a little walk. Instead of talking, and the dog doesn't get a walk. The whole point is coming for a walk. Dogs want to walk, right? They want to go forward to chat with her a bit. That's nice. And just getting to know each other a little bit. So I like her. We get along well. She's never afraid of me. She's never like, who the fuck is that guy? Any woman that's even the least bit anxious, you know, that's a bad energy. That's when their pussies have gone sour. And particularly I'll say the pussy, because the worst case is when the women have already thought about fucking you on any level, right? And then it's like, all of a sudden they want to like lynch your penis because something's gone foul. You don't like them back. Someone else in their staff likes you. You know, it's just like they get very possessive. It's like, you're mine. They sort of mentally piss on you. And that's where if you're a nice guy, right? And this one lady that went sour, I mean, the last thing she said to me is that she wanted to knit me gloves because she saw my hands were cold. Didn't quite say it, but her mind was thinking it. Next thing you know, it's like, holy fuck, the most violent series of events I've ever seen in my life. The schizoid nature of the manager became fully manifest, and he was just saying one thing and doing the opposite. Just a completely violent state of mind. And of course, the staff go along with it. We did some bit of witchcraft today, and we'll keep a positive energy. She's a gem, Pam. Yeah, she's a nice lady. She has actually a similar physical body type to my mom. Yeah, I see some older women, I just curse them, you know. But she's just pleasant. She's obviously in good shape. That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. And play squash. Prices gone up. Yeah, it's always something people talk about. I mean, they're gonna go up eventually. The thing is, they're gonna hike, and then that's it. They're gonna settle, and you live with it, right? So the system is there to manipulate inflation, right? Everything you do has to be worth less and less. It's a bottomless well. It's a septic system because that is parasite oriented, right? Some parasite, nothing happens to prices, but some parasitical order is always getting something out of it. Right? So you could buy a house for $20,000 in 1901 with a part-time job at a fucking library. Now it's two people can have two jobs and they can barely afford a one-bedroom apartment. See, there's no reason for that. You work, you think there's so much money in the world, but you're actually getting paid less per hour in terms of what that dollar is worth. It doesn't matter how much money you get paid. What matters is what it's worth, right? It's nothing. It's chump change now, right? A lot of people will never buy a house in their life, right? Now, if you have contracting skills and you can get some property and build your own house, well, now you're ahead of the game, right? Because you've already, upped your principal, your capital more to buy a piece of property for $250,000, build a beautiful house yourself, and all of a sudden, you sell the whole kit and caboodle for $2 or $3 million, depending on where you build it. Right now, your loan is paid off essentially. Your equity is skyrocketed, and it's only going to be worth more every fucking year that goes by. But you've still got property taxes, you still got maintenance, right? You still got insurance you have to pay. Everyone with a hand is putting it in your pocket. Inflation is still happening, right? I don't know how people can talk about ecology in a septic financial system. It doesn't make any sense. So, oh God, I got pissed real bad. Okay, let's get down here. Yeah, she was nice. I'm cold. It's just getting misty. Oh, it's cold. Let's go. 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 Do shits today. Good. Goodness. My dreams about my life, humans of various positively seeming persuasion, delivering copious tsunamis of poisonous hostility to people or to me, doing them a favor because of how much in debt and in shock they really are. So it's never enough for you, right? You can tell by someone comes up to you that no matter what you do for them, it will never be enough to stay the hand of hostility. No matter how, anyway, no matter where you may think your position. And by the time someone's hostile with you, they're allowed to. They will be allowed to. And you'll get people saying, well, we're too afraid to do it. Every excuse in the book. Right? How can any decent person work in a business where you know that males or females are going to come in and be sexually harassed, physically threatened, made to feel unsafe doing something? I feel unsafe. This police officer calls me, and I'm doing her a favor, right? Because she doesn't want to do anything, and I don't want her to do anything. But because I don't want her to do anything as much as she doesn't want to do anything, she's pissed at me. I mean, she's really pissed because they want you. She wanted to get rid of me. She wanted to help the bus company get rid of me, right? But they didn't. Right? You can't be afraid of these fuckers, right? They're going to use language, coercion, suggestion, energy, in every possible way. They're going to use everything they can to subvert you all the time, anytime. They're awful people. It's very hard for human beings to walk around thinking that they're awful people, much less that they're dressed up as police officers, sworn by a magistrate or legal system. It's very hard. They will tell you, it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer or what you are. But one thing's for fucking sure, they're not lawyers, right? Because if they're lawyers, they wouldn't, unless they really enjoyed giving each other business, right? So business is drummed up all the time by the police. They have a in the shit they may want to do to people. Losing their job is the worst thing that can happen, really. They'll probably still get a retirement fund, right? Right? They have to. They want them to do evil shit to you. Okay? I cringe to think of what I just heard in this town. What police officers are capable of. One police officer said to me, I had recorded something. Someone said, oh, you know, they have cameras. They'll say to you, they have no idea, right? Don't give a fuck about your ability to preserve your own rights. What if there was a critical verbal exchange and you wanted to get an accurate record of what it was and how they'd spoken to you? Well, that's from the records. Just assuming that the company that would want to preserve their own recording. Like that happens all the time, right? Trying to affirm how impossible it is for them to even. They're not even allowing them to be human enough to make mistakes or to be selfish, right? They're dehumanizing the people they claim to be serving. And that's how demons talk. Talk as though no one has moral agency. They dehumanize everyone. We live in a dehumanized world. The police are dehumanized. They're dehumanizing people. They have been dehumanized. They are not human anymore, right? No true human being would ever be a police officer, right? I would never have anything to do with anyone with the police in their family. You meet them, fat, ugly bitches living off the government tip. That's all they're doing. Right? They don't do shit with their lives. They're shitty people. They're ugly people. Who would want anything to do with them? Right? All right. Let's see how those pictures turn out when I get home today. Let's go this way today. Good. Take a break.